Hey, it's the guys from Best Quality PLR here, Justin Popovich. Brad, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
That's Brad Goss. And what we're doing here is Brad and I were actually literally just on a Skype call and we decided to hit record. Uh, as you know, your best quality PLR experts here, we're always kind of looking out for unique things that come along. And Brad was showing me this ResearchEgg business. I guess Brad, this is a somebody you're connected to. We can get
Yep.
into that in a minute. And I was taking a look at it, and some of it was clicking and some of it wasn't. But Brad was so excited about it, and when he's excited about something, I take notice because he's always got the latest and greatest stuff going on. So, Brad, why don't we? This is, as you can tell, very unrehearsed. But Brad's actually going to kind of explain a little bit about this product and why we want to share it with you as a PLR customer of ours. Because there's some very unique things you can do here, and this is probably a product like you've never seen before. It's definitely something I have not seen before. So, Brad, I'm going to pass it over to you. Maybe you can explain a little bit of kind of the background of what this Research Egg opportunity is and what they've done with this particular offer that we're going to be sharing.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay. Great. So essentially, what this is it is a private label rights product, but unlike normal private label rights products, which are usually written content or some type of graphic, this is actually a data-driven private label rights product. It's really not. I've never seen this before in this kind of space, which is why I was excited about it because it's not it's not your typical stuff, but the data is, I think, more valuable because it costs a lot of money to put together. So the creator of this product, Attila Hardy, he used the Google Surveys platform. I don't know if you know about that or not, but you can actually use Google to run surveys, and they charge you for it. But they embed them in mobile apps and in other places, and they'll ask people one or two multiple choice questions, and they have the demographics on the people they're asking the questions from or to, and then they'll sell you, okay, ask 1,000 people about their social media habits, or ask 1,000 people which credit card they use the most, or you can use that data. Data like this, when you survey people, is really valuable because it's quotable data. It's like you can send it to radio stations, and you can use it for lead generation, but you can also use it for to repurpose like the data into press releases and into other like really valuable kind of stuff. So
Yeah, it's like a finger on the pulse of what's actually happening, and not like a stab or like a best guess. It's actually verifiable data from real
right,
users.
right.
Yeah, and that's something you don't really see a lot in PLR products. Like you said, that's why I think it took me a minute to wrap my head around this, is because very often it's like a writer researches a topic, put together a product, and there you go. In this case, it's actually a lot of time and money that goes into collecting this data.
Yeah, and we all know that 90% of all stats are made up, right?
No, I think it's 91.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yes or yes? So this is actually like verifiable data. Like you're actually getting the spreadsheet that shows all the actual all the multiple choice questions they were asked. The male, the female breakdown, the question one, question two. We'll get into that in a second. But it even shows you like where they took the survey. Like, was it a news site? Was it a mobile app? Was it some other website, other Google partner? Was it a shopping page? Like, where did we actually pick up this survey data? So there's a lot of data here that you won't even see. But this infographic that you're going to get kind of breaks it down a little bit for you. So it says, do you have any of the following social media accounts? They asked women and men, and this is the breakdown. And then they actually go into the details where they say, which of the following social media accounts do you have? And so we can see here, like, if your demographic is women, then like if let's say you're selling social media consulting or social media agent services to businesses, you can go in and say, okay, well, if your demographic is men, we can see that we want to be on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. But if your demographic's women, you want to be on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram.
Right.
Right. So so we've broken it down into like a really nice infographic so that it's visual and it's easy to follow. What device do you use most often on social media sites? So we can see that women are using their mobile devices by far more than their computer and their tablet. Men are still using their desktop computer, their laptop more, a lot more in this case, and the mobile phone less. So it's just, it just helps people to figure out where they need to be in terms of their targeting. Which of the following sites would you trust enough to give your credit card information? This is really, important data because, okay, I want to target women and I want to target, women on Facebook because that's where they're trusting their credit card. They don't trust it on Twitter. Look at it, 0.3% trust their credit card on Twitter. Like, this is valuable data, and you're not only getting this infographic, but you're getting all of the actual data itself, and you can respin this data. So if you look at, he's really only he's just taking these 4 questions and giving you the breakdown of the answers, which is actually really valuable. But then if you look here, you've got all this other stuff. So if you wanted to say, okay, what percentage of people in the U.S. South are using Pinterest, or women using Pinterest, and you can, if you know your way around Excel, or you can hire someone on Fiverr who can do this kind of stuff for you, they can respin this data into more reports because you're getting all of this data as well. And then the other thing that he gives you is an editable Word document, which is again kind of a breakdown of all the different things, and this could be used as like an opt-in bait or something else. I mean, to me, the infographic is the same data, much prettier. But this is, if you just want a simple Word document that breaks it all down for you. And then you also get the Excel sheet. Let me see if I can shrink that down a little more. There we go. And this breaks down all the questions for you as well. So if you wanted to, put the reports, into a different format or a different style in Excel, they're all here, and it's all chart data. So it's, if you wanted to change the surveys, or you wanted to go and do your own new surveys or whatever, you have this editable spreadsheet data as well. But really, the core value here is that this is not your average PLR. This is like, you're getting all, like, this isn't just, oh, we did a survey and trust our judgment. This is like, we did a survey. Here's all the data that comes with it, and there's a lot more.
There's more credibility here because it's based on real numbers.
Exactly. It's not, like, it's not some, oh, we only, and he surveys a lot of people here. It's not like, oh, we surveyed 10 people, which a lot of people do when they do these kinds of infographics.
Yeah, this is like multiple thousands, is it not?
He spent, I think, I can't remember the number, but yeah, he spent, I mean, I'm sure I could just do a row count here and see.
But there was more than just that.
Yeah, I think so. I think he asked over 350 people in each survey.
I think in each survey, yeah, but it was a total of quite a few more.
Yeah,
I think it was, anyway. The sales page has that. So, let's quickly go over who this is for and who it's not for, because I don't want every PLR buy going, oh, I got to have this, unless you know what you're going to do with it. But if you, for me, what do you think, Brad? Here's my take on it. If you sell any kind of social media, or like you talked about earlier, any kind of service or consulting where you're helping companies get on social media platforms, or maybe you have training programs, like, let's say, downloadable business programs that they go through, right? Like, maybe we have customers that take our PLR and create membership sites where they give away business and marketing tips. That could also help that person, right? Because they don't want to just say, hey, take my social media course and trust me, you need it. It's like, hey, I've got this survey showing these are the numbers we're seeing, these are the trends we're seeing, and my social media program will help you adopt your business to meet these trends. Is that kind of a fair way of looking at this?
Yeah, that's a great way to look at this, and ultimately this is, this could work for any kind of online digital type business as well, where you're selling social media software as an affiliate.
Right.
Anything social media related, this data is going to come in handy if you're selling anything in that space, right? Whether it's, like you said, training, software, templates, done for you social media service, any of those kinds of things, or even if you're a speaker on social media, all this data is really valuable because it's not your average written article. It's real survey data. So and the fact that you really can. I mean, he's just scratched the surface with this infographic. You could re-break all of this down by suburban, rural, urban. You could re-break this down by income. You could break it down by what section of the United States these people live in. Like, this is there's a lot more data here that actually hasn't been utilized, and I'll be honest, I'm not an Excel geek, so I would probably hire a guy on Fiverr who does kick-ass Excel reports and give them this spreadsheet and say, hey, I'd like you to give me these breakdowns and repurpose this data. There's a number of different ways that you can repurpose it. So and there's no private information in here. These are just what we have
just
here.
It pulled their demographic, but nothing that's going to expose the user itself.
Exactly. So it's usable data.
Yeah, very cool. This is neat because I think anybody that's accustomed to buying PLR hasn't really seen anything like this. So it's definitely worth taking some time to look at this. If you have any questions, reply to the email that you got this video on. We're happy to answer them or kind of pass them up to, I believe it's Attila, right, that created this and his team?
Yeah, and the other thing that's cool about this offer is, full transparency. There's always, usually some kind of an upsell. The upsell to this offer is actually pretty slick. It's the ability to have them create one of these for you. So if you had custom questions that you wanted asked, he'll run the surveys for you. He'll create the infographics. Like, he'll do everything for you, which is kind of cool. So if you wanted to put your own spin on this kind of a product, and you don't want to sit there and create the infographics and do the reports and all that stuff, he's got a done for you service that you just basically give him the list of questions and answers that you want surveyed, and go and run them.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking out loud here. Like, one of the fitness coaches I work with, he's now offering meal plans, and what he's finding is that his meal plan doesn't work for all of his people because some people don't like tilapia or some people don't eat meat or whatever. So it'd be cool for him to have a bunch of survey data and see like what are the most common things that people do like and don't like, and then he could kind of tailor his meal plan based on those real world stats, and probably cast the widest net in terms of what his meal plan will actually sell to.
Yeah, surveys are a great way to outline the challenges your customers are facing, and that helps you to overcome them with your products and your sales copy and your services and all that kind of stuff. So this really, I mean, the gold for me in all of this is the targeting data that I have here. Like, I know that my female audience, for one of my products is Facebook and Pinterest, and I know that if I'm looking at a male audience, like, Twitter's not really. I mean, it's if you compare it to the female demographic, it's much lower on the list. Like, they're on Instagram and Pinterest more, but but males are actually, like, Pinterest men, it's non-existent for them. Yeah. It's really interesting data. Like, it really helps me to see, like, okay, if I'm targeting this particular group, where obviously Facebook ads is the first place a lot of us go, but what's number two? Where do we go next?
Yep.
So the targeting information here is golden.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Well, anything else? I think we've pretty much covered it. People can look at the sales page and, like you said, get a hold of us if they're interested. But totally unique, something we haven't seen before in the PLL world. And hopefully, if you're watching this, you get some value from it if you pick up a copy. And I think he's only offering 100 or so copies for this first round, so fairly limited access as well.
Yep.
Excellent. Thanks,
all right,
Brad. That was good.
Thanks. What do you think?
Good.
You think that explains